Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're just going to talk about sales, the basics of it, the importance of it, but really what it takes to become great at sales, what it takes to become a great salesperson. Quite honestly, people believe that it's almost like you have to have some secret formula to this, and really it's not. There's no huge secret to what it takes. It's just a matter of being able to put yourself in a position that you understand the basic needs, and what are those needs? What is it that people usually think of? Customers. Customers are important. It's extremely important for you to have a customer and for you to have somebody that's going to be able to use your product or use your end service that you're going to be offering. And obviously understanding what that service is or what that product is, that is extremely important in sales as well, because if you don't understand what service you have to offer, if you don't understand what your product is, how do you help somebody solve their problem? They usually are reaching out to you because they have an issue that they're not quite sure how to fix themselves, or they don't have the expertise in terms of how to fix it. So in reality, you're trying to figure out what it is that a customer wants or what it is that a customer needs. But it really does boil down to one thing, whether they believe it or not, and whether you know it or not. The truth is, what a customer is looking for is somebody that they like and somebody that they respect. Somebody that's going to give them an actual solution to the problem that they presented. That's the greatness of sales. If you're doing it right, and if you're paying attention, you're looking for a solution to a problem. And the best part about it is every one of us is a salesperson from the moment we came onto this planet. We all have the ability to be a great salesperson. Some of us don't realize it. Some of us don't understand it. Some of us are very, very adept at being able to nurture that ability and use it to produce very, very, very successful lives, successful stories. You'll see things out there that'll tell you the 5 quickest tips, or the 5 best closes, or the 5 best things in order to become a greatest salesperson. And guess what? All of them have become useful. I've read tons and tons of books about sales and becoming a great salesperson. And there's so many things that can be gleaned from these books. It can be gleaned from these other tutorials. The best part about it is there's no one way to be a salesperson, but there's still one thing that everybody buys. No matter how this all boils out, no matter how many products are going to be placed in front of you, one thing that everybody buys is you. You are the glue that holds it all together. You can go from any industry and have any product that's in front of you, but if you're confident in you, it takes it such a long way. You go from being just a salesperson to being a problem solver. And a problem solver is where you want to live. That's the world you want to stay in, always looking for a solution. Because as you're looking for that solution, what you're doing is you're creating bonds with people, letting them know that you're going to be helping them through their problems, especially when they can expect you to be counted on. So one of the great things that I love about sales is that when I talk about it, you really have done it from the day you came out. One of my favorite stories is of being 13 years old, hanging out in Washington State, knowing that, hey, I want to make impressions on some of the people that I'm getting ready to hang out with. I'm in a new state. I'm originally from Colorado. And one of the cool things that were going out was that, I had a really good sized family, a great family unit. At that time, it was 3 of us with my mom and my dad and my stepdad. And we got to hang out in Washington and just run around, play around in the woods and things of that nature. But, you're getting into those teenage years. You want to look really cool. You want to look really fresh. So, I couldn't wait to get myself a pair of Jordans. And one of the funny things about it is I went to my mother and asked her for that pair of Jordans, and she looked at me like I've lost every marble in my head. Not because she didn't want to do something to take care of her son, but the cost of a pair of Jordans was just not something that she was willing to do. She had a family to take care of, and that family was more important than her son getting a pair of Jordans. So being the individual that I am and being the solution seeker that I've been from such a young age, one of the cool things I did was I actually went to the apartment complex we lived in. And I went to their managing office and talked to them about what they were doing over the summer and what they had going on and how they maintained the buildings and how they maintain the different complexes and some of the things that the guys did. And after sitting in there and going in there for a couple of days, I actually asked them if I can get a job. Now, at being 13 years old, that's not something that's exactly above board. I didn't have a work permit or didn't have anything else that legally say that I can get paid, but I was determined to show my worth. So here's what I convinced them of. I said, hey, I don't have to worry about reporting anything. You guys decide what I have a minimum in terms of what I'd like to be paid. We can remain on a salary or however you want to set it up, but I'll work over the summer and I'll work from these hours. So I think I was able to get about 30 hours a week over the summer. And what I did was just went around. I swept up the parking lot. I helped the different maintenance guys with other maintenance problems. I hauled off things. I threw trash away. I did whatever it is that they asked me to do over that time period. Why? Because I wanted a pair of Jordans. And I was going to get that pair of Jordans. Now, where's the sale? The sale was in me convincing an organization or apartment complex that somebody that's underage had any business doing anything to help them with what they were doing on a day-to-day basis. Quite honestly, I don't really believe that they needed my help. I was doing extra work or side work that nobody was thinking about doing because it wasn't on their most important list. But if it could help their apartment complex be just that much better, obviously they saw a use for it. See a problem. I knew that the apartment complex was dirty. I rode around it every day. I rollerbladed around it. I skateboarded around it. I played basketball in it. I ran around in the woods. That's what me and my brother did all day long. We just hung out and were kids doing all the things that kids are supposed to do. But during all of that, I saw the trash that was on the sidewalks. I saw all the stuff that was building up in the bulk pickup. I saw little things that were going on that could be fixed just around the apartment complex. And you know what? I didn't know all the ins and outs, but I knew it. Maybe the guys were busy. Maybe they had two little guys in order to do some of this little stuff that was going on. But I gave them an opportunity to be able to just make their complex that much better. More importantly, I gave myself an opportunity to fulfill a goal. At least that's what I saw as a kid. I can get my first pair of Jordans. And that was the best thing in the world. It didn't matter who I bought the Jordans from because the Jordans, they were already sold. Michael Jordan did the best sales job that anybody can do in the world. Michael Jordan believed everybody, made everybody believe they could fly. And getting his shoes was one of the first ways for you to believe that you could fly, whether you were going to be flying on the court or you were just flying in the streets, hanging out, looking really good, hanging out with your friends. Michael Jordan made you believe that you were that person, that dude. And so that sale was already done. He sold me on the need for me to go out and make my own money and not have my mom have to worry about getting myself a pair of Jordans. I told you it's easy. You don't realize that you do it every day. So what we're going to talk about more is how you take the principles that are sitting out there, some of the simplest principles that are out there in terms of what it takes to be a salesperson. We're just going to help you apply it to making yourself that much more confident in what you have to offer, what you have to give to the table, what you can bring to anybody else that's looking for your expertise. Have a great one.